Welcome to the Visual Fractions Exploring Equivalence activity. In this activity, you're going to be using certain materials, which will include colored construction paper, white construction paper, a ruler, a pencil sharpener, eraser, scissors, glue stick, and crayons. In this activity, we're going to explore fractions using visuals like bars. You will see how different fractions can actually represent the same amount. We will be using the colored construction paper to create bar fractions to give visual models. These will then get pasted onto the white construction paper. The height of all of our visual bar models will be 2 inches. So we will look at the ruler and we will mark the 2 inches from the bottom of the paper as such. Next, the width of our visual bar model. So our visual bar model is going to span the width of the paper, and this is about 9 inches. So we are going to draw a line through the initial line we drew. And this will give us our first visual bar model. We're going to do the same thing with all of the other colored construction pieces of paper. We have now drawn 6 visual bar models. And what we're going to do next is that we're going to divide each one of these visual bar models into fractions. We're going to use a 1 whole, a 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/6, and 1/8. This first visual bar model will be the 1 whole. So we have 1 whole. And this equals to 1. The next one we have here, we're going to create a 1/2. So we're going to use the ruler, and we have a width of 9 inches. So we're going to mark the halfway point, which is at the 4 and 1/2 mark here. So let's go ahead and cut this visual bar model in half. Okay, there we go. So this will give us a 1/2. So we have 1/2, 1/2, and this is 1/2 and 1/2. The next visual bar model we're going to create is going to be for the 1/3. And again, we have a width of 9 inches. So if we divide this by 3, we're going to make a mark every 3 inches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then let's go ahead and create the dividing line and make our visual bar model that's divided by 3. Okay, so these are 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. So the next visual bar model that we will create is going to be divided by 4 spaces. So let's go ahead and we'll cut at the half, then we will make a half of the half, and then another half of the half. So if we draw these lines, we are left with a visual bar model that is divided by 4. Once we have a visual bar model that represents a 1/4, we will go to the next one. This next one is going to represent a division of 6. So we'll start with making a line at the very center. Then we will divide again. So we have 2 lines. We have 1, 2, 3, and now we need 3 more in this side. Okay. So let's go ahead and draw the lines. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there we have it, the visual bar model that is divided by 6. The last one we are going to create is the one that's going to be divided by 8. So again, we're going to start with a line dividing the entire visual bar by half, so at the 4 1/2. Okay, so now we will divide the rest. All right, so we need 1, 2, 3 lines on this side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, finish the lines, finish the lines. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And there we have it. We have the 1/8 written in words, and we also have it written as a fraction using numbers. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to be cutting our visual bars. So we're going to cut. We're going to cut along this line here to create our visual bar model. And there you have it. You have a visual bar model that represents 1/8 fraction. We're going to do the same for the other 5 visual bar models. We have finished cutting all the visual bar models. So we have the 1/2, the 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/6, and finally the 1/8. We are now going to paste these visual bar models onto this white construction paper, and we'll start with the 1/2. So let's go ahead and apply some glue on the back of the visual bar model. So here we go. Okay, so we'll place the 1/2 at the upper part of this white construction paper. Next, we will paste the 1/2. So we have the 1/2, apply the glue. Okay. Now we paste this right below the 1 hole on the white construction paper. Okay. And we're going to do the same for the rest of the visual bar models. And there you have it. We have all our visual bar models, which we have 6 of them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And each of these visual bar models are divided into different amounts. But what we must notice is that they are all the same size in total. Even though that this green visual bar model is not divided by any amount, and this yellow visual bar model is divided by 1/2, they are both the same width, so they are the same size. If we look at these fractions, there are 2 things that we will notice. We have a number that is above this line and a number that is below the line. The number below the line is called the denominator. The denominator tells us how many times this visual bar model was divided. For this yellow visual bar model, we see that it was divided 2 times. We have 1 bar here and then 1 bar here. So divided 2 times. And that is why the denominator is 2. The number above this line is called the numerator. The numerator represents what piece of the divided visual bar model it is in. So if we have 1 piece here, this represents 1 piece out of 2 pieces. So 1 piece is the numerator, denominator is 2 because we have 2 pieces. We also need to understand that all of these are fraction equivalences as well. For example, we have this yellow visual bar model divided into 2 pieces. We have this red visual bar model divided into 4 pieces. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's recognize that this half of the yellow visual bar model is as wide or the same size as 2 pieces of the red visual bar model. So we have 1, 2, and these 2 pieces are the same size as this 1/2. In this activity, we used visual bar models to explore equivalent fractions. And we have created a total of 6 visual bar models divided into different pieces. So we had the 1 whole, we had a 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/6, and 1/8 representation of the visual bar model.